and high creatinine, 3 life-saving veggies for seniors, and 6 that could harm you.
Before you add vegetables to your cart or chop up an extra bunch for dinner tonight, you should know that not every vegetable that looks green is a kidney-safe choice. Right now, millions of people are silently damaging their kidneys every day, not with junk food or toxic drinks, but with the very vegetables they trust so much. You may think you're eating healthy, but what if I told you that some of your seemingly healthy vegetables contain compounds that can cause toxic buildup, leach calcium from your bones, raise your creatinine levels, and even cause dangerous heart arrhythmias? And worse, most of them don't have clear warnings on their labels. Essential data on the impact of vegetables on the kidneys is still missing from most popular nutritional advice. Meanwhile, just one small mistake in daily meals can accelerate kidney failure and put you on a dialysis machine for the rest of your life, 4 hours at a time, 3 times a week. But the good news is that you can control it, starting today. In this video, we'll help you identify 6 seemingly harmless vegetables that are bad for your kidneys and introduce 3 saviors that have been researched and proven to reduce creatinine and support natural blood filtering function. Stay tuned until the end of the video because the most dangerous vegetable is very familiar in your meals, and the vegetable with the strongest kidney support ability is exceptionally cheap and easy to find. Before starting, think, which vegetable you still believe is the healthiest? Please share your thoughts in the comments section. We will read and respond to each. All the content in this video is compiled from fundamental scientific research and honest professional experience. No advertising, no exaggeration. 1. Raw spinach. A seemingly perfect vegetable misunderstanding. In the world of leafy greens, few are as celebrated as spinach. People call it a superfood, praising the abundant amounts of vitamins A, K, C, and iron it contains. Fresh salads, smooth green smoothies, all look like symbols of a healthy lifestyle. But ironically, this very vegetable, when eaten raw, can silently damage your kidneys every day. Few people know that raw spinach contains exceptionally high levels of oxalate. This natural compound can combine with calcium in the body and form calcium oxalate stones, the most common type of stone in people with kidney disease. According to an analysis by the Harvard School of Public Health, every 100 grams of raw spinach can contain up to 658 milligrams of oxalate, 10 to 20 times higher than many other vegetables, such as lettuce or bok choy. Now imagine this. Every day you add a handful of spinach to your smoothie, a handful to your salad, and then juice it. There are no symptoms at first, but the oxalates begin to build up. In people with impaired kidney function, this buildup can cause blockage of the kidney tubules, damage to kidney cells, and over time, lead to kidney stones or progressive kidney failure. More worryingly, a 2019 study published in the journal Kidney International Reports found that eating too many oxalate-rich foods can trigger an inflammatory response in the kidneys, especially in older adults. Raw spinach also contains high levels of potassium, about 558 milligrams per 100 grams. If you are in stage 3 or 4 of chronic kidney disease, this amount of potassium can easily push you into a state of hyperkalemia. This dangerous complication can cause irregular heartbeat, fatigue, and even sudden death. Unfortunately, most people don't know this. When a food is labeled healthy, the herd mentality can easily lead us to think more is better. But for people who are at risk or living with kidney disease, this can be a grave mistake. Not all healthy foods are suitable for the kidneys, and eating them raw doesn't always preserve their nutrients. Sometimes cooking them is the way to remove dangerous toxins like oxalates. If you still want to eat spinach, boil it first and then discard the water, or replace it with romaine lettuce, bok choy, or baby bok choy, which are lower in oxalates and gentler on the urinary system. 2. Beets, the red villain in superfood disguise. Bright, naturally sweet, and packed with anthocyanin pigments, beets are often hailed as one of the natural miracle drugs for heart health and blood pressure. In the world of health food, they have become a modern superfood, from baking to juicing to adding to detox smoothies. But behind that eye-catching red hue lies a dark side that few people know about, especially those with kidney problems. Like raw spinach, beets are incredibly high in oxalates, a significant risk factor for people prone to oxalate kidney stones or impaired blood filtering function. According to data from the National Institutes of Health, NIH, every 100 grams of beets can contain 152 to 200 milligrams of oxalate, belonging to the group of high oxalate foods that need to be strictly limited if you control your kidneys. A notable study published in the American Journal of Kidney Diseases, AJKD, found that dietary oxalate is the primary source of calcium oxalate crystal accumulation in the urinary system, especially in the elderly or patients with chronic kidney disease. When the amount of oxalate in the urine exceeds the kidney's processing threshold, it precipitates into crystals, scratching the lining of the renal tubules and causing inflammation, pain, and even blockage of urine flow. Not only that, but beets also contain high levels of potassium, about 305 milligrams per 100 grams. If eaten regularly or used in the form of concentrated juice, which is very popular, the amount of potassium absorbed can exceed the recommended level, especially in people who need to limit potassium to control hyperkalemia. The problem is not the beets themselves, but the misconception that natural is safe. Just because something looks pretty in color, like juices sold at detox bars, doesn't mean it's harmless. When your kidney's filtering function is impaired, precise control is needed, not eating for the sake of feeling healthy. Important message: food is not medicine, but if eaten by the wrong person in the wrong way, it can become a trigger for chronic kidney failure. Alternative: if you love natural flavors, try steamed pumpkin, white radish, or roasted zucchini, low in oxalate, high in easily digestible fiber, and much safer for sensitive kidneys. 3. Green beans, the hidden star in seemingly healthy meals. In simple and frugal meals, green beans are often a bright spot, easy to cook, easy to eat, low in fat, rich in fiber. Its small shape, lush green color, and moderate crunch make it seem harmless, even classified as a healthy vegetable. But for people with kidney disease, hidden behind that green skin is a little-mentioned risk: high purine content and uric acid risk, found in many foods. When they enter the body, they are converted into uric acid, a substance that, if not eliminated effectively, will accumulate in the blood. For people with poor kidney function, this accumulation can cause gout and arthritis. In the long term, uric acid can form crystals that deposit in the kidney parenchyma, damaging the blood filtering structure. BMC Nephrology, 2020, up to 21 to 28% of patients with chronic kidney disease also have hyperuricemia, and a diet rich in purines is a significant contributing factor. It is worth mentioning that green beans, although they are vegetables, have a much higher purine level than common vegetables, and are in the group that needs to be controlled if you are at high risk of gout or kidney failure. Are also susceptible to pesticide residues because they are often grown industrially with a short harvest cycle. When eating vegetables containing residual chemicals that are not thoroughly washed or undercooked, people with weak kidneys who already have reduced ability to filter toxins may face additional metabolic burdens that the body cannot handle. The crunchy feeling of a piece of green beans stir-fried with garlic can make you think you are eating healthy. But sometimes the most dangerous thing is what does not show on the outside. It doesn't make you sick right away. It doesn't make you sick that day. But little by little, it can add up to serious kidney problems. Lesson to remember: not all greens are safe, especially for people monitoring their kidneys. The food source and the biochemical reactions in the body are key. Try cooked zucchini, asparagus, or soft steamed eggplant. They are low in purines, potassium, and much easier to digest. 5. Raw carrots. the silent accumulation of a seemingly innocent vegetable. When it comes to carrots, most people smile with relief. Carrots are healthy, naturally sweet, and rich in beta-carotene, which is good for the eyes and immunity. They appear everywhere, in children's lunchboxes, dieters' salads, and the morning juices of those pursuing a green lifestyle. But hidden behind that sweet, crunchy skin, raw carrots can become a silent danger to the kidneys, especially when consumed regularly and without control. The first thing worth mentioning is the oxalate content, a compound known as a factor in forming calcium oxalate stones, the most common type of stone in the urinary system. According to data from the University of Pittsburgh Medical Center, UPMC, every 100 grams of raw carrots contains about 15 to 30 milligrams of oxalate. While this number may not be too high if you only eat a few slices, for those who eat them raw regularly, juice them, mix them in salads, or use them as a snack instead of chips, the amount of oxalate can increase rapidly during the day. The problem is not just a glass of juice or a salad plate, but the accumulation that no one notices. A 2021 study published in Frontiers in Nutrition found that even moderate oxalate levels can exceed the safe excretion threshold if consumed continuously, especially in people with kidney complications due to diabetes or high blood pressure, the two leading causes of chronic kidney failure. Not stopping there, when eating raw carrots, your body must also deal with hard, insoluble fiber that is difficult to digest, especially in older people or people with poor digestive function. This inadvertently increases pressure on the digestive system and leads to mild inflammatory reactions and intestinal gas accumulation, indirectly affecting the body's metabolism, including the kidney's filtering function. Another point to note, raw carrots are often not washed thoroughly or stored improperly. For people with weakened immune systems, such as chronic kidney disease patients, bacteria or pesticide residues from the carrot peel can cause latent infections, creating secondary inflammatory reactions. Whether a food is beneficial or harmful depends on its nutritional composition, how you use it, how often, and your current health status. For healthy people, raw carrots are a good food, but for people at risk of kidney failure, it needs to be used properly. Innovative ways to use it. Switch lightly boiling or steaming carrots to break down some oxalates and make them easier to digest. Or pair them with other low oxalate vegetables like zucchini, cucumbers, and romaine lettuce. The key is not to overhype any vegetable, even carrots. 6. Tomato concentrate fragrant in spaghetti, rich in pizza, sweet and creamy in every spoonful of Italian beef sauce. Tomato concentrate, including ketchup, spaghetti sauce, and pizza sauce, has long been the soul of millions of meals. But behind that addictive deliciousness lies a quiet truth that few people pay attention to. Tomato concentrate can be a hidden wave that pushes kidney patients closer to complications in just a few spoonfuls. The first and most obvious reason is the very high potassium content. While a medium-sized fresh tomato contains only about 290 milligrams of potassium, a tablespoon of tomato concentrate can contain up to 500 to 700 milligrams, depending on the recipe and concentration. For people who limit their daily potassium intake to less than 2,000 to 2,500 milligrams, even one traditional pasta meal can exceed the recommended level, pushing you into hyperkalemia. According to a 2022 report from the National Kidney Foundation, mild hyperkalemia can cause electrical conduction disturbances in the heart, while moderate to severe hyperkalemia can lead to arrhythmias, muscle weakness, and cardiac arrest if left unchecked. On top of that, commercial tomato concentrates often contain added sodium, refined sugar, and preservatives, all of which can burden people with kidney disease. A study from the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition, 2017, noted that high sodium combined with high potassium can worsen damage to the small blood vessels in the glomeruli, especially in people with a history of high blood pressure or diabetes. Additionally, the high acidity in tomato concentrate can cause gastrointestinal upset, from heartburn to mucositis, and indirectly affect the absorption of other minerals that people with kidney disease are already deficient in. Worse, because this food is so popular, many people don't realize they consume too much. A little ketchup on fries, a few spoonfuls of sauce on pizza, and a jar of pre-made sauce for dinner. They seem like just a side dish, but in reality, they are accumulating as a significant burden on the kidneys. The habit of fast food, processed, may be convenient, but for people with kidney problems, every spoonful of sauce needs to be carefully considered. The intensity of flavor sometimes comes with the intensity of metabolic burden. Safe alternatives. Try making sauce from roasted red peppers, mashed pumpkin, or unsalted vegetable broth, which adds natural sweetness while significantly reducing potassium and sodium. After going through the list of 6 seemingly harmless vegetables that can cause serious harm to people with kidney disease, many may feel confused. So what else can I eat? Zrenia. Are there any vegetables that are safe and support healthy kidney function? The good news is yes. Not only are they safe, but they can also help your kidneys work more effectively, more durably, and longer. In the next part, we will explore 3 types of vegetables that are not only benign but also have scientific evidence to prove that they contribute to protecting kidney cells, reducing inflammation, and keeping creatinine levels stable. Let's start with a humble, familiar vegetable with a strong defense capacity for the excretory system. 1. Cabbage. The humble leaf that carries a protective layer of kidney armor. Cabbage, a simple vegetable found in every supermarket, market, and kitchen. But behind that humble appearance lies a miraculous biological system containing compounds actively researched by scientists for their ability to protect kidney tissue from oxidative damage and inflammation, the 2 most common attack mechanisms in chronic kidney disease. The first thing that makes cabbage stand out in the list of good kidney vegetables is its low potassium content. A 100-gram serving of boiled cabbage contains only 150 to 170 milligrams of potassium, low enough to be safe for people who need to limit potassium, but still provides moderate levels of vitamin C, K, and fiber that is easy to absorb. However, what counts are the unique plant compounds sulforaphane and indole-3-carbinol found in cruciferous vegetables like cabbage, broccoli, and cauliflower. According to a 2020 study published in Frontiers in Pharmacology, sulforaphane has been shown to reduce kidney tissue damage caused by hyperglycemia and uremic toxins by activating endogenous antioxidant enzymes and inhibiting inflammatory responses. Not only does cabbage have positive biological effects, but it is also easy to prepare, digest, and suitable for many cuisines. Whether you cook it in soup, stir-fry it lightly, steam it until soft, or make it into a light salad, cabbage retains most of its nutritional value if not overcooked. In addition, cabbage also helps regulate cholesterol, aids digestion, and improves immunity, factors closely related to kidney function. Providing a protective nutrient source like cabbage can make a long-term difference for people with kidney disease who are at risk for chronic systemic inflammation. From a familiar green leaf to a solid kidney support tool. Sometimes it's not the expensive things that bring high value. If understood and used correctly, a cabbage leaf can become a silent but effective armor for the excretory system. Suggested uses: cooking a thin soup with ginger and mushrooms, lightly sautéing with bell peppers and olive oil, or steaming with flax seeds and onions to increase the natural anti-inflammatory effects, are all great ways to help you maximize the value of cabbage while still being friendly to the kidneys. 2. Bell peppers. In a culinary world full of secretly bad foods, sometimes the best things come from the simplest things, like a ripe red bell pepper. Not as spicy as its hot cousin, not as bitter as some leafy greens, bell peppers offer a sweet taste, vibrant color, and, most importantly, are one of the gentlest vegetables on the kidneys. The most significant advantage of bell peppers is their extremely low potassium content. According to data from USDA Food Data Central, every 100 grams of red bell peppers contains only about 88 to 90 milligrams of potassium, far below the 300 to 600 milligrams in many other popular vegetables. For those who need to control potassium strictly because of chronic kidney disease, bell peppers have become a near-perfect choice. But beyond being safe, bell peppers are also rich in vitamin C, vitamin A, and powerful antioxidants like luteolin and quercetin, compounds that have anti-inflammatory properties and protect the small blood vessels in the kidneys. A 2020 study in the journal Oxidative Medicine and Cellular Longevity found that diets rich in plant antioxidants are associated with slower declines in kidney function in older adults. Especially in the context of kidney disease, people with kidney disease often have to reduce protein and eliminate many foods rich in potassium and phosphate. Finding a nutritious and easy vegetable to incorporate into daily meals, like bell peppers, is a gift. You can roast, lightly saute, eat raw, or add to soup without worrying about affecting the electrolyte index. In addition, the vibrant colors of bell peppers, red, yellow, and orange, are eye-catching and help stimulate the taste buds and mood. For people with kidney disease who have to diet for a long time, eating can easily become monotonous. A little color, a little natural sweetness of bell peppers can bring a more positive feeling to each meal, which is always encouraged by nutritional psychologists in long-term treatment. Message from a sweet pepper. Keeping the kidneys healthy does not mean sacrificing all flavors. Sometimes seemingly simple foods have the power of balance, goodness, and freshness, which a ripe bell pepper brings most naturally. Suggested usage: slice and eat raw with salad. Cut into strips and stir-fry lightly with olive oil. Roast and stuff with beans, or stew with herbal soups. All are light on the stomach, easy to digest, and especially good for people who are protecting their kidneys. 3. Kale. The green of power, protecting the kidneys from the roots. If there is one vegetable that nutritionists worldwide are not afraid to call a superfood, it is kale. But the point here is not empty praise. It is specific scientific evidence that kale brings long-term benefits to people with chronic kidney disease, especially in stages 2 to 4. The first point is that kale contains essential nutrients such as vitamins K, C, A, manganese, copper, and polyphenol antioxidants. Still, it is pretty low in potassium when appropriately cooked. According to data from the USDA, 100 grams of boiled kale contains about 228 to 250 milligrams of potassium, much lower than spinach or Swiss chard, and perfectly suitable for people monitoring their electrolytes. Most importantly, kale has been shown to inhibit chronic inflammation and microvascular endothelial damage in the kidney, thanks to kaempferol, a naturally occurring flavonoid found in dark leafy greens. A 2021 study in the journal Nutrients found that a kaempferol-rich diet was associated with improved glomerular filtration function and reduced systemic oxidative stress in patients with chronic kidney disease. Kale also contains lutein and zeaxanthin, which are suitable for the eyes and help protect against free radical-induced soft tissue damage, a standard process in chronic kidney disease. Since people with kidney disease often have diets restricted to many food groups, adding kale to your diet is a simple way to naturally supplement your diet with vitamins and minerals without needing supplements. Kale is not just about nutrition, but also a symbol of a healthy, proactive, and selective lifestyle that people with chronic diseases need to maintain sustainably on a long journey. A green leaf, a long-term message. You can't heal your kidneys in one meal, but you can protect them daily with wise, sustainable choices, like a handful of kale for lunch today. How to prepare: steam, lightly saute, make a light soup, or mix with bell peppers and cabbage in a stir-fry, all delicious and urinary supportive combinations. Avoid raw if you need to keep your potassium levels under control. There's no magic bullet to get your kidneys back to health overnight. But there are small, daily habits that can make a big difference. And any recovery, or at least delaying damage, starts with what you put in your body. You've just discovered 6 vegetables to avoid and 3 to eat if you're looking after your kidney health. You may have seen some of them in your kitchen. You may already be eating them every day without even realizing it. But don't panic. Knowing today is the first step to protecting yourself tomorrow. Remember, kidney health is a journey, not a race. You don't need to change everything in one day. Choose the right vegetables for dinner tonight, then continue with the next meals. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to, I like to support the channel. Subscribe to never miss out on new content about kidneys, nutrition, and healthy living, and share it with your family and friends who are also looking for answers about their health. See you in the following video where we will explore the drinks, herbs, and lifestyles that can help your kidneys recover naturally. Don't forget